In this video, we're going to learn how to do the process in reverse. So over here, we're finding z-scores for given percentiles or given probabilities. So for each one of these questions, we are going to go first to the table, then to the calculator, and then we'll look at StatCrunch as well. So the first one is asking us to find the z-score associated with the lowest 10%. So whenever you have a normal distribution and you're answering a question like this, you should draw your curve. You should write down what you're looking for. So we're looking for the bottom 10%, and the 10% is really an area under the curve. So the lowest 10% is an area to the left of some value, and the area under that curve is 0.1. So our z-scores we found on the left side and then the top of our table, and our probabilities, which equate to our areas, we find underneath the curve. So we're going to have to look in the center of our table and find a number that's as close as possible to 0.1 in order to find the z-score associated with it. First of all, remember we have a negative and a positive side. So since we are to the left of our mean, we are going to look on the negative side. We're going to look through our table and find the value that is closest to 0.1. And so 0.1003 is 3/10,000ths away, and that's going to be the closest value. With that, we're going to go over to the left to find the first part of our z-score. I'm just going to highlight over here, and we're going to go to the very top of the table to find the hundredths digit. So we're now putting those two together. We're going to say an area to the left of negative 1.28 would have a probability of 0.1003. So again, the associated z-score would be negative 1.28. Let's go back to our question. The next question is asking for the highest 30%. So again, we're going to draw our curve. We're going to label the upper 30%. So this time we are looking for area to the right. This has an area of 0.3. I'm just trying to make it a little illustration. Remember, our mean is right in the middle, so 30% is definitely less than 50%. So remember, our table only gives us area to the left. So here we're doing the reverse that we did before, where, before we were finding area to the left, and then we did 1 minus to find the area to the right. Now we're given the area, so we're going to first subtract it from 1 in order to find the area to the left, because that will allow us to use the table and find this cutoff value that separates the bottom 70% from the top 30%. So we are actually going to look for 0.7 on our table, and we're going to look on the positive side. So 0.7 on the positive side, again, looking at the center of our table, let's find the number that is closest to 0.7. So over here, I see we have 0.7019. However, 0.6985 is actually a little closer. That seems to be the closest value, which is 0.52. And then the last one is looking for the middle 70%. And so this is where we put in 70% right in the middle. Then we're going to look at, hey, what other areas do we have given over here? So we have, with 70% in the middle, that means we have 30% in both of those tail regions. If we divide that into two parts, we end up with 15% or 0.15 in each one of the tail regions. And so if we find our value for 0.15, that's going to give us that lower z-score. And then if we put it added 0.5 and 0.7 together, that would give us the value for the upper value. Now also keep in mind that these two values, since ours are going to be the same but opposite signs because of the symmetry of our distribution. So let's start looking at 0.15, which is on the negative side. Looking for the value closest to 0.15, we can see 0.1515 over here, but 1492 is actually a little closer. And that seems to be the closest value to 0.15. So we're going to go over to the left to negative 1.0, and the top, put those two values together, so we end up with negative 1.04. And then we can do the same thing on the positive side with 0.85. Again, looking at the center of our table, the value that's closest to 0.85, we are over here at 0.8508. And let's see if there's anything closer than that. That seems to be the closest value. So again, we are at 1.04, which, as we mentioned before, that's going to be the symmetric value, or just a positive value. So over here, we're looking for two cutoff values. On our calculator, we're going to use a function called inverse norm because it's the inverse of the normal distribution. So over here, going to inverse norm always asks us what is the area to the left, unless you have one of the newer models, in which case you can actually pick whether you want to be left, right, or center. But I'm just going to assume that you have one of the older versions of it, so we're going to use area to the left. Our mean is 0, standard deviation 1, and we're going to hit enter over here, and that is negative 1.28, just like we found it on our table. Going to our second question, which looked for the highest 30%, and just like before, since our calculator, or at least the older versions of the calculator, uses area to the left, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use the area to the left, and since there's 30% on the right, that means there's 70%, or 0.7, on the left. And going and hitting enter over here, we end up with 0.52. Last question was looking for the middle 70%. So again, going to inverse norm, option 3 over here. And again, we have to split it up and say, okay, we want an area of 0.15 to the left. And we're going to hit enter over here, and this says it's negative 1.04, rounded to 2 decimals. If we're finding the inverse norm with an area of 0.85, this would be the upper value over here, again with an area to the left, and we already know those are symmetric. We're going to end up with the positive value over here at 1.04. Now for that function, it's really nice if you do have one of the newer versions, because as I mentioned before, instead of doing, 85% or 0.85 to the left, we can just say, I want 70% in the middle, and I can actually change that function over here and say, okay, give me the two values that have 70% in between them. And you can see that it actually gives you a comma separated list. So it gives you the negative 1.04 and then the positive 1.04. So super easy to use StatCrunch to answer, to use the TI-84 to answer questions like this. So let's look at it on StatCrunch as well. So we're looking for the lowest 10%, highest 30%, and the middle 70%. So over here, we are going to go again to Stat and Calculators and our normal distribution. And so over here, we have our standard normal distribution with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. We want the area to the left to be 10% or 0.1. So we're simply going to put in our answer over on the right, and we're going to hit enter, and this is going to give us the z-score. So it says a value less than negative 1.28 would give us a left area of 0.1. Now over here, this is where it's nice because I don't have to use, like when I'm trying to find the area to the right, which is 30%, I can simply switch my sign to a greater than symbol over here, change this to 0.3 or 30% on the right, and then I can find my z-score of 0.52. The best part about it is that you have the little image that shows you that you're finding the correct area as well. The last one, to find the area in between, which we said we wanted 70% between two values, we're going to switch over to the between option. We are going to put 70% in between, and this is going to give us our lower value of negative 1.04 and our upper value of 1.04. So super easy and straightforward to use. The hardest part about using the online calculators, both the TI-84 or doing it on StatCrunch, is making sure that you use the correct function. When finding z-scores, you're going to use the inverse norm. When finding area or probabilities, you're going to use the normal CDF. Over here on StatCrunch, when you're trying to find z-scores, you're going to put in the probabilities on the right. And when you're trying to find an area, you're going to put in your z-score.